spark, that final pass to unlock that team that is very well organized and with all the dominance and situation that we have to generate, especially more shots on target as well.
I'm very happy of the way we did things, the way we play against Arsenal. It's very difficult to play against Arsenal. They are a very good team and requires a lot of efforts, requires a lot of help. And today were solid, were compact. So very positive game.
You said before the game that over your dead body you'd give up on the title race. Having dropped more points today, you still stand by that?
Absolutely, yeah.
So until it's mathematically impossible, you still think you're in this title race?
We're going to try to win our football games. Before it was the same a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 months ago. The only thing we can do is win our football matches and see how many points we can.
Just finally, normally coming to a team that's third in the table, a point would be a good result, but at the moment it doesn't feel good enough?
No, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel. We're here to win.
Manager says he's not giving up. Hardly surprising, is it? But the gap now is 13 points, and Arsenal's injuries really in forward positions are telling.
Yeah, they really are. When you've got Havertz at 9 goals, Martinelli 6, Saka 5. If Liverpool lost Salah, Jota and Diaz and Gakpo, they wouldn't be in the position they are in. So what we see tonight against Nottingham Forest is Mourinho's been asked to play that higher position. He doesn't want to. He wants to wander. He wants to be involved. Nwaneri here coming inside, but look at the numbers across on that side of the pitch. Very heavy. Where's your focal point? Declan Rice is the player in the box looking for that. You've got to have someone to bounce it off. Poor pass from Jorginho, who came into that midfield area tonight. But then when you're looking at wide areas, you're now asking your fullbacks to take people on. OK, Timber does it on this occasion. But then where's the movement in the box? You've got four players in the area here. They're all static. There's not any movement to get across anyone, to move anyone, to shift a position, to make the cross easier for Timber to put it in there. So it's really static from Arsenal. When they do get crosses in the box and it gets cleared, they're vulnerable to the counter-attack as well. And obviously the pace from Gibbs-White up front, a great ball to Chris Wood, and they could have had a sucker punch against them here because they dominated the ball, Arsenal, but they are vulnerable on that counter-attack as well. And then this was towards the end of the game. Raheem Sterling, who came on as a sub, you've got to spin into that channel, you've got to give them an option. Declan Rice is now looking, that run becomes too late. Declan Rice now runs himself down the blind alley, and you'll see the response from him here. Where's the run? Where's me help? There's nothing there. And it's understandable this is tough for Arsenal because they have lost these players. But there's got to be a desire to get in the box and to run forward. Sterling does well here. Now go and attack your man. You're in a 1v1 situation right at the end of the game. Go and take him into the penalty area. But look at the Arsenal players, the lack of desire to support, to get numbers forward. They're all at a canter, they're just jogging forward. So they've been hit really heavily, Arsenal, and it's understandable. Back-to-back games now where they haven't scored.
And there it is. It's less of a title race and more of a procession, isn't it?
It is. Well, you asked me at the weekend, didn't you, whether it was over? And I told you the answer then, so it's not going to change tonight.
It's more over.
Yeah. I think it's brilliant from Liverpool to keep that level of consistency. But just on that game, I think it's worth giving Forest some credit.
Yes.
They're really difficult to beat at home. They're a good side and they're still in that Champions League fight.
Very much so. Manchester United
this evening. What are your initial thoughts on your side's performance tonight?
Yeah, disappointment not to get the 3 points, obviously. But even though we dominated the game almost from start to finish without really giving much away, apart from that direct situation in the second half of minute 70, I think. One or two situations when they run with some giveaways in the final thirds. We were there. We certainly tried. The spirit, the energy, unquestionable. The willingness to do it, but we liked that final ball, that spark to generate something to open them up, and certainly more shots on target as well.
Why do you think that was maybe lacking this evening? Is it personnel? Is it tactics? What do you think is the issue? Converting that possession, as you say, into...
I don't want to discuss that again. We know that.
So how do you maybe rethink now? Is back-to-back games without scoring? What do you need? What can you change?
Yeah, good time to reflect. We have a few days now before the PSV game, so that's the time to do it.
So what can you change? There's not huge...
That's what I'm going to think, yeah.
So at the moment, it's analyse the weekend and then figure things out for Tuesday?
Yeah.
Outside of that, Liverpool are playing this evening, winning against Newcastle. The gap could be 13 points.
It's about us. It's about winning. No. It's about our games. That's the only thing we can control. It was the same a week ago, 10 days ago, 2 months ago. That's the only thing we can do.
How are the players in there? Have you spoken to them? What's the mood like?
We're disappointed not to win the game, obviously. We are here and putting everything that we possibly can, and the effort that they put in is unbelievable, the spirit that they have. So we want to win. We're here to win.
The spirit among them seems good, though. Do you need to help them be picked up at all with these disappointments, or do they sort of take care of themselves?
We are there for anything that they need. They know that we've been together for such a long time, and they are a joy to work with, and we're just looking forward. And individually, all of us, how can we add something just to create that spark and win more games? That's it.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
0-0 draw on the road. What are your initial thoughts after that?
I think we played well today. We were dominant throughout the whole game, I think. But then, it happened. The goals, they happen in the boxes, and I think we defended really well. But then up top, we need to try and create more, and then score goals, because that's football all about.
What do you think is lacking in that final third at the moment?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I think the effort is there, and we try, and then I think one moment needs to click again, and then the goals will come. So it's hard to find a solution on that, but we just need to keep pushing for that.
Is it just individuals? I know Mikel Merino is playing out of position as a central striker. Does he need more help from the players around him? Is it a tactical thing?
As I said, I don't have an answer on that, because I think we would have been scoring a lot of goals at the moment. I think it's just in general. We know also when the players are out, we have to find solutions, and that's up to everyone, the staff and the players as well. But I don't think it's about effort, because I think, today we played quite well. We're dominant, as I said. We had a lot of possession, and then it's about scoring goals, and hopefully it will click soon, and then goals will come.
So until it does start to click, what do you need to do? Is it just about sticking together, trying new things, different things on the pitch, at the training ground?
Yeah, of course, sticking together. I don't think that's an issue with us. We are a good group, and just keep pushing as we are doing. I don't think there's any magic ingredient, I would say. It's just about keep believing and keep going for it.
It's a title race with such small margins anyway, but dropping 2 more points tonight, do you and the group still believe you can win the league title? Do you have to believe you can still win it?
Yeah, you always have to believe, but I don't think we need to look ahead at the moment. We just need to keep thinking about the next game, and that's how it is at the moment. Now we don't play at the weekend, and then we have an important game in the Champions League, so that's what we need to focus on.
Appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Night, Martin.
It didn't happen because we've got Trossard, Merino and a young 17-year-old playing in the front three, and of course in the end that's crippled the team. It's about sorting out the top of the side. I think throughout the team it looked solid at the back, defended really well. Both teams did actually. I don't think it was the poorest of games. I think it was a good solid contest. Mostly Arsenal taking the game to Forest, 65% possession, but just couldn't find the solutions at the top of the team. But I think with what's left to pick from, I don't think we should be too surprised with that.
Have the injuries in Arsenal's attack cost them the title this season?
Well, it certainly hasn't helped, of course, but I think that when you don't have a centre forward, when you don't have someone who's going to find the net for you, and you feel as if all you're relying on is maybe heavy set pieces in the game, then it affects you psychologically in the dressing room. There's no question about that. You're going onto the field of play and you think you're really going to have to play through. You're going to really have to be fantastic. Every single pass in and around the penalty has got to be so accurate, and it's not happening for the Arsenal at this minute. And then the set pieces, 1 or 2 actually were reasonably dangerous, but overall
they dealt well with that, Forest, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
The combination of that there, the set pieces not working into to their advantage, and also the fact that they would maybe almost have to walk the ball into the net, Jules. I think psychologically it starts to play with you.
I think Calafiori as well was getting some joy, and I think the decision was made. He's on a booking. Let's take him off. And maybe Arsenal's chance went at that moment, because they was finding a solution. He hit the post with one. It was difficult for Forest to deal with him. You might have kept him on, Martin.
Well, that's an interesting one, Matt, because I personally, if he wasn't injured, I would have kept him on.
Take the risk.
Yeah, I would have taken the risk. Well, why not? I know the news might have been coming through from Anfield, all of that type of stuff, but I still think at the end of it, you keep him on, because he was actually a bit of a danger. As I said, conversely, he might have been a wee bit of
Arsenal have suffered so much with sending off, so I think they probably would have thought, OK, let's get him off. Let's make the change. Tierney came on actually and did well and nearly grabbed a goal of his own from a set piece, but it wasn't to be.
It's as if you knew, Martin, because there's more news from Anfield. They've just gone 2-0 up.
They've gone 2-0.
They've gone 2-0 up
Yeah.
now. And if they hold on for a victory against Newcastle, that one's in the second half. It was a later kickoff. It kicked off at 8:15, so they're still in play there. If they hold on and get all 3 points, it's going to be a 13-point lead at the top of the table. Can you see Arsenal catching them?
Not at all. There's two things have to happen. First of all, Arsenal have to win the games, and that's not a given by any stretch of the imagination. Also, then you're talking about Liverpool dropping a lot of points.
Martin, I always love your positivity, but have you conceded the title yet?
Well, you're going to keep playing for the shirt. You're going to keep going for it, but obviously now you have to adjust your targets. You know, the thing is, just because you can't be champions, you can't sling it all away. There's definitely a chance now, obviously, if they don't score goals, then you don't want them slipping out in that top four. So tonight, now, when you come away with a point, it's very important that Forest don't catch up Arsenal and they get back into winning ways. Have to win their next game. They've got to rest now before they play PSV. But essentially their next game is away at Manchester United, and they certainly have to win that one. And there's a lot of history on that game.
Guys, we have Nuno Espirito Santo just behind us. Please let him in to come and join us.
Well done.
Nuno,
Congratulations, well done.
thank you so much for coming out to talk to us. Yeah, it's a point tonight against Arsenal. Do you see it as a good point?
I see as a good point, definitely, because it was a good game. It was a tough game. Arsenal is such a good team, very hard to control, but today we were solid, we were compact, the help was there, the interconnection to sustain the attacks was there, so it's a good game.
I saw you play recently, the 7-0 against Brighton, and you played with a 5 that day, and you changed. And today I wondered, okay, will you go with it? But you went with a 4. What was the reason for that? Did you need more bodies in the midfield area?
Today.
Because I know you went to a 5
So
you created it a different way.
Yeah, but as Arsenal doesn't have a striker, so Merino playing in that position, there's no need to an extra body. So the overload will be in the midfield, so it drops. It's about containing the midfield.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just that what you have, I think, is you have the team working exceptionally hard. The minute that you lose the ball, you're right back, and you know you've actually attacked from really deep positions.
Yeah.
Do you feel that between now and the end of the season that is something that, listen, that's been working for you? Might as well continue that there, because you've got plenty of pace up front, and you've got Wood scoring goal, which is unbelievable. Or is it just, listen, we'll just go with whatever is next on our agenda?
Now, the team needs definitely to give a step up in terms of the defensive shape. But Arsenal is a very difficult team to do that, because they overload too much on the wide areas. Even the central halves play next to your box, so it's really difficult to have your wingers on the transition points. But definitely this is one thing that we should have, because it's one of our strengths, the way we recover and go with our speed. We had a couple this evening. It didn't work out, but definitely is one of our strengths.
And I also, just to add this little point, I'm very uncomfortable asking another manager questions like that. Okay,
No, feel free to do it.
Thank you for answering it. Okay, and then I'll have some tea with you later on.
Okay, it will be a pleasure.
Nuno, it is another good point, and because of the recent results, it was 3 defeats in the last 4 Premier League games. How important was it just to keep building and try and keep yourselves in that top 4? Because at some point, the confidence, did it ever waver a bit?
It's nothing to do with the points, with the table. Today was about finding ourselves.
I told you would say that.
Do you know what? I find this amazing what you're doing, because obviously when you think whether you finished 6 points above the bottom of the table at the end of last season, and if I look through the names of the players, they've all been, and you yourself, you were at Spurs, you've all been at big clubs, and you've all come together, and what you're doing right now is quite remarkable, isn't it? Into 3rd place. How are you sustaining it? How have you got this reaction?
To sustain is very difficult. The expectations are very high around us.
It's changing now.
Yeah, but it's the same group of not. But this you can never lose, because the success is about that.
And are you enjoying it more than ever before? Because you've had 2 finishes, didn't you, in the top 7 for Wolves?
Yeah.
And then you went on a different journey.
Yeah.
How is it for you now?
It's been fantastic. Our journey is being fantastic. The fans with us today, the legs were not there. The atmosphere gives us this extra run. It's about being together and enjoying this journey, knowing that it's up and downs. It's all part of the journey. We come from a down moment. Now we'll try to go up again and see if we can do it. It's a long way to go.
It must feel like you're getting closer, though. It must feel like it. If you started thinking about what it would be like playing in Europe next season, a lot of midweek matches.
We try to avoid those thoughts.
You
to
do.
Don't get distracted.
Martin O'Neill next to me here, he's already dreaming of it, seeing it back here
You
again.
already made it.
No, thank you very much. Yeah, actually, I did. Right, okay. So
Yeah, I know.
this is my last piece of sycophancy. You've done brilliantly.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Nuno, thank you for coming
Thanks,
out to talk
thank
to
you.
us. We
It was a
appreciate
pleasure.
you coming
Once
out
again,
here.
Jules,
Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
I don't actually talk to the players, but I heard the news coming through that the pre-season was really tough. It was really good because he was working with the players. It was his first opportunity really to get them, you know. He came in last season at the time that he did do, but really getting the pre-season, getting to know the players inside out, working with them on a daily basis, bit of sun on their back, things like this here. And apparently they really worked exceptionally hard. And I think that stood them in really good stead. You know, yes, they were a wee bit tired there today. Maybe the possibility that they've only used the 23 players, that might have something to do with it. But overall, there is, as he mentioned, a really good spirit about them. And the point is this here, you talk about spirits around about the team. Martin, I'll tell you, yes, the players can have that, but really it does come from the manager. And I think that he has helped to invoke that spirit that is very strong at this minute.
Well, he is getting one step closer, game by game, to giving the players and the fans of this club the dream that they want of playing in Europe next season. For Arsenal, though, it's just a point tonight. Let's get some reaction from them.